And now we're into class number 3. In this class, I want you to understand muscle function. So I want to tell you a story about a woman. She was in her 80s. Her name was Ida Rolf. And Ida Rolf she had a couple PhDs. She was a brilliant person. And she was invited to go from Boulder, Colorado down to Colorado Springs, Colorado, and teach the Air Force football team about muscles. Well, you can imagine this little lady walks into the room, and there's all these great big gorillas of guys. And she says, "Boys, I'm here to teach you about muscles." She says, "Okay, boys, we're going to start. I want you to raise your right hand up and hold it up." And so they all raised their right hand up, and they started talking. And a little while later, about 15 minutes into the conversation, there was only one arm left up. You know whose that was? It was Ida's, the old lady. Well, why was that? Because she must have known something they didn't know, didn't she? Well, I want to teach you something right now. This is really, really important stuff. You're not going to learn it anywhere else unless you learn it from the Rolf Institute or the Rolf Guild or the Soma School or the Williams School. If you go to willsecrets.com, you're going to find links to everything I'm telling you about. I'm not hiding or keeping anything away from you. So she said, "Boys, why aren't your arms up?" Boy, can you imagine how intimidated that would be? I mean, you're a great big gorilla. You got huge muscles. You work out every day. Your arms hanging down. She said, "I'm going to tell you the secret, boys. We have 2 kinds of muscles. We have extrinsic muscles on the exterior, and that's what you boys been working. But then we have stronger muscles on the inside called intrinsic muscles." So I'm going to give you a challenge right now because, see, I want you to challenge everything I tell you because I'm not going to lie to you. I have no reason to lie because I'm giving this to you. So what benefit would be for me not to tell you the truth? So I just said, boys, if you lift your arm up, you're using your exterior muscles, your extrinsics. But if you were to reach your fingers to the ceiling, use different muscles. Those are intrinsic muscles. So the boys reached their fingers to the ceiling. 20 minutes later, all the arms were still up. So was Ida's. She's in her 80s. You know what? Try it. Try it. Now, why is that important? Because we can massage with our extrinsic muscles or we can massage with our intrinsic muscles. Now, there's about 250,000 people right now professionally doing massage in the United States of America. Now, do you know how many of them know what I just told you? Maybe a dozen. Well, probably a few more because I've got about 900 students out there around the country. Some of them are practicing, some of them aren't. They understand this. Now, what difference does that make? Well, an intrinsic muscle, you think about a little old person, they're all bent all up and they're walking around and they don't have any outside muscles working at all, but they still can move. Well, they're using their intrinsics. And I'll give you an example. There was a Rolfer, I don't remember his name, but he was walking down a country road and a sports car came along and hit him and broke his leg in 7 places. Well, he was out in the middle of nowhere and they just kept on going. They left him. They just wanted to get the heck out of there. It was hit and run. Well, he got up, he got himself up, and he reached out of his heel as far as he could, and he got all the bones to go back in place, and he walked to the nearest house about a mile away. And then they took him to the hospital, and he got up on the table at the hospital emergency room, and they had x-rayed his leg, and the doctor said to him, how'd you get help? He said, "Well, I walked about a mile." The doctor said, "You're a liar." He said, "I am not." He got off the table and he walked around the room. Well, he had 7 breaks in his leg. Well, how can you do that? What do you think is stronger, bones or muscles? Good question, right? Well, at one time I had 8 athletes I was working with, and every one of them ran the mile in less than 4 minutes. And their legs got so strong, their quads and their hamstrings got so strong it would bow the bone in their leg and it would cause a stress fracture. Now, one of the strongest bones in your leg is that femur, right? It's pretty strong and it's pretty big. Well, their muscles would break it. So I'm going to tell you a secret. The strongest thing in the body is muscle. It's not bone. And intrinsics are multiple times stronger than extrinsics. So if you stand up nice and tall and you reach your spine to the ceiling, and you get in line with gravity, close your eyes a minute, and you just find that place that's comfortable, open your eyes, you're going to feel like you're leaning back a little bit because most of us lean forward. And if you do that, you're going to wear out. Now, I'm 65, and I can't find 30-year-olds to work with me because I wear them out. But why? Because I know these secrets I'm giving you. So this Everything that you're learning is going to change your life, not just the lives of the people that you love and care about. So we have two kinds of muscles, right? We have extrinsics, and we have intrinsics. Well, one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we keep our body position, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to give you a whole class on that. So here's what I want you to understand. If you reach, you're much stronger than if you place. So you want to reach instead of place, okay? So, and you want to keep your shoulders nice and roll back and let your body stay nice and straight. And you reach from here. You reach from here. If I reach from here, look at my shoulders. Where do you think all that strain's going? Right up here. Stress is the #1 killer in America. There's a Dr. Leonard Caldwell, and if I were you, I would go on Amazon.com. I would look up some of his books. He's brilliant. He's German. He's cured more cancer than anybody else in the whole world, and he doesn't use any medicine at all. What he does is he gets people out of their stress. So I'm going to end this session. We'll get on to the next one because the next one's all about how muscles are put together. Thanks.